To start my own Starry Night artwork, we are going to need a pencil and your heavier weight paper for watercolor painting. And we're going to start with a pencil to kind of draw out our swirl shapes in our sky. Remember that swirls are organic, which means that there is no wrong way to do it. It is flowy and free. If yours look different than mine, that is totally okay. But I'm going to walk you through how I would do some of the swirls like Van Gogh. So I have my paper, and then somewhere in the middle of that paper, right about in the middle, like from the top and bottom and from the sides, maybe a little off center, somewhere in here, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little dot. This is my goal, is that little dot. And I'm going to start from this edge, and I'm going to draw a swirling line. Remember, smooth and flowy. That's what we want. So I'm going to start on this edge, about a third of the way down, and I'm just going to flow, kind of swirly, flowing up and around, and then ending on that dot. So smooth curving lines. Now, far away from my first dot, not close by, my first line, far away, but still on this same edge, I'm going to start another line, and this time I'm going to echo my line and start to bring it closer. So I'm going to start down here, I'm going to echo, but still follow, and then I'm going to start to bring it closer until we end with a swirl like that. Lovely. Now I'm going to swap over to this side of the paper, and I'm going to be aiming over here. So last time I started on the edge, I was aiming to the middle. Now I'm going to start on the middle and aim to the edge. I'm going to kind of plan, up here somewhere, maybe there. That's where I'd like to go. So I'm going to take my second swirl. I'm going to kind of keep this space in here, and I'm going to go to that bottom dot. And I'm going to stay in this space, wrapping around, and then going to the top dot. So just kind of making a second arm on that little swirl. Now that I have my swirls, I'm going to use my red and my blue crayons from my primary color crayon box. And I'm going to start with one. So I will start with red just because I want to. You can start with red or blue. It doesn't matter which. And we're going to make little cars like the paintbrushes that we saw from Van Gogh, paintbrush strokes. So we're going to make short little lines, pressing kind of hard with these crayons, and we're going to follow our swirl. Dashed lines, we might call them. But we're going to follow that curve that we drew with the pencil all the way to the center. And you're going to do the same thing on that bottom line. And then we're going to do some more lines, and we're going to make this kind of like a highway. So all these little dots are like the cars in our highway. We want all the cars going the same direction on the highway. We don't want to have any car crashes, no cars running into each other. And they're all kind of staying in their own lane. They're not all over. We're not being crazy wild. We're just making a little highway, and then we're going to keep going until our whole highway lanes can merge, like you can bring them together. But we don't want to change direction or all of a sudden start going this way. No car crashes, but we're going to fill our swirls. You can do some on top and some on bottom. That's fine. But we're always going to keep our highway going the same direction. When your highway is full, that's great. It's time to do the other side, but switching colors. So I'm going to switch now to my blue. Make sure you're pressing kind of hard so that color is bright on your page. What you don't want is to have like really light, soft crayon, because that won't show up in the paint. So kind of back and forth wiggle. If you need to peel a crayon, please make sure you just peel the very end. We're not peeling all of the paper. And then this trash goes, of course, in the trash can, not in my box. All right, so now I'm done with both of my swirls, one in each color. I'm going to take a little bit of my other color and put it in the swirl where it doesn't belong. So in my red highway swirl, I'm going to add a few blue cars in there. Not too many, just a couple. And then we're going to do the same thing in my blue highway. We're going to add some red cars in there. Now I'm ready for that last color, which is that yellow. So this whole thing is the sky. So somewhere in your sky, you could add a moon. I'm going to choose to add my moon here. And we'll color that in nice and hard with the yellow. And we'll add a few stars. So put some stars below your swirl and above your swirl. And then like Van Gogh, we're going to add some of that yellow spiral shapes. And there we go. I am liking how my work is looking. It's time for me to clean up because next time I get to paint.